Alexander Volkanovski, who planned to challenge the winner of the fight between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev, does not rule out that he will travel to Abu Dhabi to ensure a fight for the vacant UFC lightweight title. If I'm in decent shape, will I be able to substitute in case someone gets injured? Because I have a premonition that this is exactly what will happen. Be ready to take the opportunity before someone else does. I'm that kind of guy. Let's see if it's feasible and maybe I'll go to Abu Dhabi. I trained this morning. We did kickboxing, apparently without a left hand, but I kicked with my right hand. In 6 weeks I will be able to fight. After 12, spar in full contact. I will be completely healthy. The bone will be the same as all the rest, if not stronger, considering the screws. Usman Nurmagomedov, who won his 4th victory under the Bellator banner last weekend, took first place in the ranking of the lightweight division of the organization. The updated rating is published on the official website of the promotion. Recall that the fight between Usman Nurmagomedov and Christopher Gonzalez, which became the 3rd most important event of the Bellator 283 tournament, ended at 2:54 of the first round with a guillotine choke. Prior to this, Usman, who did not know defeat, won by unanimous decision against Mike Hamill, and also defeated Manny Muro and Patrick Piatila ahead of schedule. Dustin Poirier spokesman has confirmed that Michael Chandler will be his next opponent. This was announced in an interview with sportswriter Brett Okamoto by Diamond's manager, Tiki Ghosn. Looks like it will be Michael Chandler. He wants this fight and Dustin is ready to kick him, Ghosn said. Earlier, Michael Chandler himself announced the possible organization of the fight at a press conference in London. I think you will hear news about the fight soon, and maybe they will be about my fight with Dustin Poirier. If so, I'll go out, finish him off, and next year I'll be UFC champion. Dana White spoke about what his first reaction was when he was offered to organize the fight between Petr and Sean O'Malley. We were doing matchmaking and Sean Shelby suggested this fight. He wanted to organize it, and I told him, "Are you crazy? Now is not the time for this fight." He gave me his arguments and said that O'Malley was ready. O'Malley will be 28 in October and is now in his prime, hitting like a truck. In the end, he convinced me, especially since both guys wanted it. More importantly, everyone literally went crazy when we announced it. More importantly, it has to be a damn good fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov is confident that the fight between Islam Makhachev and Charles Oliveira, in which the vacant UFC lightweight title will be played, will not reach a judge's decision. Just goosebumps waiting. Islam Makhachev enters this fight against the best UFC fighter at the moment. Oliveira is the best fighter of 2022. He is one of the best in any weight category and is also on an 11-win streak in the UFC. This fight will answer all questions. Someone reads history, and someone writes it. Get your excuses ready, we're aiming to beat Oliveira early. The heavyweight fight between Alexei Oleinik and OleinikLatifi has been added to the card of the UFC Fight Night tournament, which will take place on October 1st in Las Vegas. The organization of the fight, which is scheduled for the 3rd time, was reported by informed sources close to the situation. Initially, the heavyweights were supposed to meet on March 26 at UFC on ESPN 33 in Ohio. However, a few hours before the start of the event, the Swedish fighter pulled out of the fight due to health problems. The second time the fight was scheduled for April 9th, but Latifi dropped out of the UFC 273 tournament, and the 45-year-old Russian heavyweight met with Jared Vanderaa, whom he finished by choke in the first round and closed the series of 3 defeats. Dana White commented on the act of the head of the ACA League Makhachev, who last week stopped the quarterfinal match of the ACA Lightweight Grand Prix between Ali Bagov and Rashid Magomedov, disqualifying the fighters for passivity. Did he really do it? This is just fucking amazing. My respect to this guy. This is highly unprofessional, and at the same time damn amazing. Was it really a boring fight? This gives me some ideas for the next selection show. Believe me, there were days when I wanted to throw a chair into the octagon, but I had to sit and take it for granted, or leave the hall and sit in my room. I only have 2 options, but the ACA guy found another way out, so much the better for him. The fight between Bagov and Magomedov, which became the 2nd most important event of the ACA 141 tournament, was stopped before the start of the 5th round, when it became clear to everyone in the hall that the fighters were trying not to damage each other, turning the fight into a friendly sparring. At a press conference after the event, Makhachev suggested that the fight was contractual, stating that the lightweights would not receive a fee for their performance. Former UFC heavyweight title contender Antonio Silva is moving his tour to Azerbaijan, where he will fight former world and European champion in Muay Thai and kickboxing Zabit. The kickboxing match on September 10th will head the Mixed Fight Championship in Baku. 38-year-old Zabit Saindov, representing the Russian club Akhmat, resumed his career in October last year after a long break at the ACA 130 tournament in Grozny in a kickboxing match, defeating the Frenchman Knife Didier by technical knockout in the second round. Including fights in MMA, kickboxing, and fisticuffs, 42-year-old Antonio Silva has already suffered 10 defeats in a row, 9 of them by knockouts. Bigfoot was knocked out twice last month, first in a boxing match with Vyacheslav Datsik and then in an MMA fight against Oleg Popov.